And I would just like to come on here and speak from the heart, speak from the mind, speak from my spirit for a little bit. I have some relax your mind and body 174 hertz frequency to relieve stress and tension. Put it all the way up. Playing in the background, and I wanted to make this live stream actually because I've had, and I will take off my glasses for this honestly because there's a little glare going on, but I've had such strange, I don't know if it's communication or magnetism or connectivity. I don't even know what the word to use is. I don't know what the word to use is. I will be honest with that. But I'm not even gonna look at chat. Like I said, I took off my glasses for this. But I noticed that in the last few YouTube shorts I've made, I said like the planetary cycles, the things going on in the stars, and the moon phases, and all these planetary alignments. They really affect me on such a deep level. And I went and saw a video about how there is going to be a deep partial lunar eclipse. So it's going to cover 96% of the moon, which is what creates the phenomenon known as the blood moon, or having a reddish orange glow to the moon. Right, and this is gonna occur on August, and I looked this up when it was gonna occur again to just refresh my memory, and for this live stream. But it says it's gonna occur on the night of the 27th and go until the 28th. So 12 at night, 12 a.m. Maybe an hour before that, it'll start. But 96% of the moon is going to be in a partial lunar eclipse, so we will see a blood moon in a few days. And what this basically means is when the moon turns red, the Earth's shadow moves directly between the sun and the moon. So the sunlight passing through the Earth's atmosphere filters out the blue light, leaving red wavelengths to illuminate the lunar surface. So it's not something that you need, big binoculars or some special glasses to watch with. You can just see this with your naked eye, But I was going for a walk last night, just going for a really long walk to even clear my head, and I noticed the moon looks full already. I'm like, wow, this is like crazy to see. Excuse me. And I don't know, it's really interesting to me because it is the second week of classes right now. There's a lot of club meetings, a lot of organization and club events on campus, and then there's construction going on in our gym. Right now I was supposed to teach a yin yang yoga class there. Nobody notified me. Someone who was going to attend the class emailed me and said, hey, I saw that this gym is under construction, like what are we going to do about the class? And I'm like, oh, nobody even told me. So thank you for liking the live stream though. So I was like, oh, nobody even told me that, right? So that's the weird communication part I was referring to earlier. And then the other part on the flip side is like I'm getting a lot of magnetism of I don't know if it's energy or just people being their authentic selves. So I've had a lot of situations where I've gone to a meeting or gone to a class on campus, and it's like hearing a toddler ramble about something, or hearing a little kid talk about something that they just learned for the first time, like that type of enthusiasm. Thank you for liking that live. That type of enthusiasm and like rambunctiousness and just like trailing and sidetracking all over the place. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like, I don't know if it's related to the solar eclipse blood moon type of thing, because you definitely feel it 2 days before and 2 days after. There's like the full moon, there's a window of chaos, or a window of people being really undisciplined with themselves, because again, people don't know enough about science, just like they don't know enough about auras and their energy. With the cycles of the moon, that the moon controls water. We are 75 to 80% water. So if there is something that is completely changing the layout of the sky or the moon, or again, like stuff with the planetary cycles, and I'm getting like chills, like goosebumps as I'm even saying this, but it's like all of that controls us. And it does not matter what we're even trying to build and speed up with technology. Like the cycles of the moon and the phases of the moon and the planets affect us way more than technology does. Way more. And I also, like, I have so many thoughts and just things that I think of so much when it comes to technology, and how much it's distracting us and taking away from that inner connection of understanding ourselves and our biology. And it's just trying to make things speed up and become like, completely taking away our focus and our discipline. And that's also, part of what I was saying with just feeling like I'm in class or in a meeting, like for a club or event on campus or whatever, and I just feel like I'm hearing someone's inner child just go wild, like off the rails with the way that they talk, the way that they communicate, the way that people get angry, like at a drop of a dime, a drop of a hat. Like, people get so offended if you react a certain way. And like, I was even just looking on my student email in the cafe earlier. I was almost said the building, but I'm like, you gotta keep stuff private, some things private. But I was just in one of the food buildings at the little cafe waiting at the register, and I was standing a little bit behind the people on the left side, but the right side was completely open. Is there two, register, cashier people, whatever you call them, that were working there, and I was just a little bit back checking my email on my phone, my student email, and I'm just trying to reply to an email, and I'm clearly like looking down, not making eye contact, not even, in the vicinity of the register. So someone like was like, "Oh, are you ready to order?" And I just didn't respond, and just kept trying to read the email and then reply on my phone. And then someone else was like saying my name. I was like, just give me a second, like I'm answering this email, like clearly frustrated. Thank you to the third person who liked the live. But I was like so frustrated because I'm like, I'm not even in the line, I'm not in the way, I'm clearly not even talking to anyone, making eye contact, and people are just trying to like engage with me. That just feels like not invasive, but it feels like controlling in a way. I'm like, I'm not even in the way, I'm not even in this line, I'm looking down responding to an email, but because people are like trying to engage with me and talk to me, I'm like, can I just answer this email? Like, frustrated. And then I go to a 2-hour long training. I got to leave 30 minutes early because that type of meeting was just for the treasurer of the whatever club, like whatever club you're in, like, oh, the treasurer of that club needs to be here to listen to this last 30 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'm not the treasurer, I get to leave early, great. But even in that meeting, like in that room, just coming to that meeting was annoying because it was a mandatory meeting set for 2 different days, and some of the people in the club that were officers, couldn't attend that because they had classes or, things that didn't align with that time slot, with that schedule for the mandatory officers training, for our club organizations on campus. And I'm like, was really honest with the feedback. But again, it felt like people were just talking through that rambunctious inner child, like just talking about stuff that, was just going off on a story, on a tangent. And then I was like, okay, this is a 2-hour meeting. I hope it gets the ball rolling. But then, like, people interrupt or people ask questions, and it's like, okay, you could have just waited till after, this training to, ask that one-on-one question, or you could have just, waited things out and they would have answered that question, type of thing. But like, to me, I find myself having to be so aware of my surroundings and my environment, and just how much people are like sending energy towards me. Like, there's two people specifically that I've noticed for like a week to a week and a half, but really last week, actually, when I got this shirt, I was teaching a workshop through one of the departments, and it was like, oh, I love that. Someone left me a hate. That's what I was like. I'm not even gonna read the chat. And then I see someone left me a hate comment. Saying what I sound like. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. But see, this is literally what I mean. Like, I deleted the comment and reported it and whatnot. But it's like, people just give me such weird energy. Like, they're so discontent with themselves, and they don't know me, and they make these snap judgments, and then it's like someone's just noticeably does not want to get to know me. Someone just noticeably does not want to be gentle with me or like communicate effectively, like someone would rather be offended or rather like try to get my attention by interrupting me or disrupting what I'm doing. And then it forces almost a reaction that's like makes me seem like I'm rude, or like if I were to come up to them and confront them about it, or like, ask like, hey, what's going on? Like, what's the situation about? Like, what's the energy? Just like saying basically, I sense what you're doing, or I see that you don't really want to get to know me, but you want to kind of judge me or want to give like hostile energy towards me. But it's like, what did I even do? You know what I'm saying? And it's so weird because, like, to me, like, I really don't want to date anyone. I really would rather be single for the rest of my life than to deal with anyone else. Like, I'm so genuine. The last relationship, it was just went on for too long. And then I think about all my relationships. I'm like, man, I just guess I didn't have any standards, and I'm, taking account of things and noticing them, like, okay, I need to raise my standards. I need to communicate more effectively about where my boundaries are, like what I will accept and won't accept, blah, blah, blah. But then at the same time, I'm like, I just wait too long to address things at the same time too. Like, sometimes I'll wait until something turns into a red flag instead of addressing it as a yellow flag. You know what I'm saying? And I had a therapy session on the 20th, 5 days ago now. But I had a therapy session, and the therapist was like, yeah, you don't have to wait for something to be a red flag. You could totally, like, keep track of something that even just made you feel uncomfortable, like it was a yellow flag, even if it wasn't like something disrespectful, like even if it made you uncomfortable or didn't meet your standards, like you could just like track that and say like, hey, I don't like that, or I don't think we're compatible, or however you want to say it to that person. But that goes for like friends, that goes for colleagues, that goes for like business interactions as well. And I just find it so shocking how people would rather have like a back and forth, or like try to do something to get your attention, like either communicating in a way that's not as respectful, or like going from fight or flight, like activating fight or flight over a miscommunication, or somebody laughing and you were serious, or like, again, if you're not on the same page and you just instantly turn confrontational, like, why is that the default? Like, why are people so inclined to acting on their emotions? That's what I'm really trying to get at. Like, why are people so like trying to control and like make me out to seem like I'm such a like hostile or like forceful threat to their lives? Like at the cafe today, you know what I'm saying? Like, I literally was out of the way on my phone looking down. Like, I made sure I was not in anybody's way. I made sure I was not in the line, replying to an email. Like, and I needed to respond to it actually pretty quickly. So I'm like, okay, let me just get this out of the way and then order my smoothie. Like, that was my thought process. But then people were like trying to get my attention or call my name, and I'm like, I don't get it. Like, I'm just standing here, like, being patient, doing something else, but they would rather not, just mind their own business, not, like, just, wait for me to finish what I'm doing. They'd literally rather try to get my attention and break my focus and my concentration instead of just minding their business. Like, I really hate having to feel like someone is trying to micromanage me, or someone is trying to do something to correct my behavior or to dictate my behavior. And it's like, all of these things are really bothersome to me because I have like that perspective of being a holistic health practitioner. So it's like, I understand what to do mentally, emotionally, physically, and to ground myself, and I'm responsible for my energy, so it's like when people try to disturb me or try to provoke me or try to like puff out their chest and like because they're intimidated by me or whatever it is, like if my energy just triggers them, that's their own problem, right? Sometimes the light shines on people and it forces their demons to come out, like sometimes people mirror other people's qualities and things that they want to embody, and because they don't embody those things, they feel insecure, they feel jealous, or they feel belittled. And it's like, well, I'm just literally being my authentic self. I'm just standing on what I believe. I'm just being, standing my ground, I think is the way to word it, but energetically. Like, I'm not picking a fight with anybody. Like, I've literally noticed there are two people who are like monitoring spirits or provoking spirits, and like I've had to deal with that for like the last week. One of them is one of my roommates, and it was such a crazy energy during the first week of classes last week, and then during the weekend all of my roommates left and I was just there. I was like like I felt like I just got to breathe when everybody left. And then that roommate didn't come back like the others did. We've had 2 days of class, for the school week now. It's Tuesday, and the other roommate didn't come back since the weekend. So I'm like, okay, that was just, them not knowing how to handle their energy, feeling tension or feeling whatever they're feeling, with whatever's going on in their life. Like, I don't know them. I have barely talked to them. I think that's also weird, like just such a weird Western American culture thing in college to just slap, a bunch of people, not slap physically, okay, to just put a bunch of people together that don't have the same beliefs, we're not raised in the same culture, don't have the same, like perspective on life, don't, have the same degree, program that they pick. Like, it's literally so random. And it's like, yeah, put these people together in the most intimate, private way possible. And like, we are complete opposites, of course, and I'm not going to get into it because I'm not trying to sit here and gossip and pull down their energy or scatter my energy, even talking about this, because I do, like I said, like, the roommate didn't come back after the weekend, so I'm getting that break. I dealt with the tense, provoking type of energy enough, so I'm getting this break. That's the balance that the universe has given me, so I'm appreciative, and I'm going to take this however long, this break is, where I don't have a roommate next door to me. They're on vacation in my mind. That's what they're doing. I don't know. But yeah, so like, to me, I'm just like, okay, some things happen that feel like a setback, but then immediately after that, I'm given a break, And I feel like I should not be focused on anything right now other than my health. Like, my classes are very simple, very straight to the point. There's no crazy things going on. I could be working on an English composition assignment right now, but it's like, I'm kind of trying to see, if I could verbalize these things, if it will help me be able to focus. And then I'm going to do the assignment, before I go to bed tonight, of course, because it's due tomorrow. I have that class tomorrow at 11 a.m. So I'm not trying to procrastinate or anything. Like, I have a layout and an outline and whatnot. But my thing is, like, I just don't know why people are so unconscious is the right word. Like, I don't know if it's technically subconscious beliefs that they're acting on, with the psychology term. I don't know if it's they just don't want to sit with themselves and how they feel and communicate, effectively, or if they just feel like they are not in control of their lives and they're just responding to life and responding to whatever external stimuli that they get. Like, I genuinely have no idea, right? And then there's people who just outright don't want to communicate with me. Like I was saying earlier about the gym being closed, and I have a yoga class I was supposed to teach. I was literally there last night. My supervisor didn't say anything. The manager didn't email us. Like, they're not answering the calls. Today they just put a sign up. There's construction going on. And then I saw one of the people that works at the gym at the front desk, who's a student worker, as I was leaving the cafeteria today. And I was like, hey, so do you know what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And they recognized me, of course, because I go to the gym a lot here. But they were like, oh, yeah, there's some dust from blah, 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 blah. So they had to close it for the day. And I'm like, okay, thank you, for letting me know that. I know they're renovating the basketball floor. I know the AC is out. I know they have a lot of issues at the gym. But the thing is, if I'm on the payroll and I have a class scheduled on the day that you guys close the building for construction, I get it. I totally get it. Fix the building. No problem, no issue there, right? But communicate, because I'm not getting paid, and nobody's going to be attending a class because there's nowhere else for me to have it on campus. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, that just felt really unprofessional. Like, I don't know. And I deleted my Facebook a few days ago as well. So I'm like, I am not even worried about advertising or marketing or anything like that. It's just when people don't communicate, or they don't, post flyers or publicize it to their network, how am I supposed to grow? Like, how am I supposed to feel comfortable working somewhere and I don't feel supported? So then, like, today, with them just closing it, and someone who wanted to attend my class being like, hey, I heard, the gym was under construction. Like, oh, wow, I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? It's 102 degrees outside. Like, we're not having that class outside. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's literally nowhere else for me to do it. And I've been, like, telling people by word of mouth, and just being like, yeah, we have it every, this day and this day of the week, you should come try it out, blah, blah, blah. And it's closed. It's literally closed. So I'm like, okay, I did all this work for nothing for the almost a week now. But I'm like, sheesh, like, yeah, it's literally been a week. So Tuesday. And I'm like, wow, there's just so many things that you don't account for in life. And that's how I feel like college is for real right now. Like, for real. That's how I feel like college is, just having to deal with a bunch of people's energy, having to keep track of conversations with people. And like, I can give an example about that, but I'm just gonna leave it there, honestly, because it's just also strange to be like, oh, okay, this person wants me to say hi to them, or oh, this person asked for my number because we're friends, but they don't really message me, or oh, I exchanged numbers with this person because we're in the same club together, but then they don't want to respond in the club chat, and they'll just text me random stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's a lot to keep track of, especially as like someone who is empathic, obviously, someone who does read energy, obviously, someone who does, like, speak up for other people who don't speak up in class. Like, I wholeheartedly sometimes look like a fool to people, or look like I'm just not tracking, but I'm speaking up for other people. And that was confirmed, like, on Monday, yesterday. I literally forgot what day it was for a second. But it was confirmed yesterday because someone was like, I talked to them after class. I was like, hey, so what's your opinion on our teacher and what's going on, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, yeah, I'm kind of lost. The online stuff we have to do is like set up like a maze and blah, blah, blah. I'm so glad you asked questions in class, because it's like, that's the same thing I feel, like literally the same thing I'm thinking in my head, but then you ask the question so I don't have to. And I'm like, okay, thank you, And sometimes I just come across like I'm lost, like I'm just not tracking, like I said. But it's like I genuinely don't know why people aren't straightforward when they communicate, especially if it's a college class that's like at least $1,000 a class. Like, hey, walk us through step by step of how to do this online section, or where to find the textbook, because it's not a physical textbook we have to buy, or hey, this is what the changes are to this or that, or this or that. And then you have another class where it's like they walk you through step by step, and they give you help, and then we go over everything in class. So it's also like having to just deal with other people's internal worlds and their subconscious in a way, because it's like, if I'm having to deal with night and day difference in professors, and having to deal with like so many different types of personalities and people, it will genuinely confuse my energy. And I feel like I went through so much this year just to learn lessons about what is my energy versus what is other people's energy. What is my boundary that I have for myself versus what are the boundaries I have for other people. And it's really being refined a lot in the fall semester. And I have like health appointments, and things that I'm working on personally that I also have to balance with college life now. So I really don't even have free time anymore. Like, unless I plan it and look at it every single day, like, okay, how much free time do I have? But it's like, I could be doing laundry right now. I could, again, like, be doing that English assignment right now. I could be going for a walk right now. I could be practicing yoga, on my yoga mat. I could be, I could be journaling right now. Like, there's so many things I could be doing with my free time, but it's like I have to be super constructive and just expressive. Like, I have to express myself to actually feel like my energy is my own again. If I'm just sitting there trying to ignore people, being quiet, being in my own space, not really whatchamacallit, not even doing anything online, like not watching any YouTube videos. Like I said, I don't have other social media. Like, even if I just spend the day where I'm like not talking to people, not going to any club meetings, not having classes, whatchamacallit, I will still find ways to just like play games on my phone, or listen to solfeggio frequencies or stuff on my YouTube channel. And then it's like, okay, well, I just spent, what time is it? 7:24. I just spent 30 minutes talking about energy and how I feel off about things. And that's literally what I've been noticing, like, throughout the days as, a full-time college student. I'm like, okay, I just spent, an hour at the hospital, going to checking in, going to different places, and, in different hospital buildings, like going to the pharmacy, walking, through the parking lot, coming back to campus. Like, wow, that was an hour, of my day gone, for example. And then it's like with these, like I said earlier today, with the mandatory officers training meeting, that was an hour and a half. Okay, great. 2.5 hours of my day gone. 3 hours after just saying, like, okay, I've been online for 30 minutes. Like, but you know what I'm saying? Like, all this stuff, like, really piles up, and, like, it's so easy to waste time. Like, I'm not really wasting time, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's so easy to just not prioritize assignments and my health. Just going constantly. And then I'm like, oh, well, let me join some clubs. Let me, like, go to these events on campus. And then it's like, everything just feels like it's rushed, or it's like a bigger deal than it needs to be. Like, I taught my first workshop, and I, got this shirt. I'll show on the back of it because it's really cool. And I cropped this shirt too, but it was like a whole boot camp theme. And they started off with, like, a bunch of people, like, I think 10 people, and then we went to brunch together, and then, like, 4 people left. And then by the time, we got back and set things up in the room, it was only, like, 4 people who I was presenting to, and some of the people were staff, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, okay, this is very interesting. I prepared so much for this. Like I said, I wasted time, but I spent so much of my time in the summer, like, practicing, editing the slideshows, finding little clips that fit together, trying to find little pictures and thumbnails for all this stuff. And then it's like, okay, you're going to just present to less than a handful of people. And it's like, oh my gosh, like, I waste so much energy putting into these things where it's like, I just don't feel like people appreciate, like, my hard work. And I'm not trying to say that to sound like egotistical or narcissistic, or like people have to respect me and have to show love and praise me and all this. Like, no, I'm just saying, like, it's so weird how people have these, like, high expectations. And it's like, whenever you don't meet them, it's like they want to quit or they want to leave, instead of giving you a chance, or, like, again, effectively communicating so that you understand, like, okay, this person's not angry or upset. They're just doing their own thing, or they're just handling some, an important email, or they're just, not trying to focus on drama. They're just to themselves. Or, like, with me, I have so many people, like, give me these deadlines and have these meetings to talk about, oh, what are you going to teach in the workshop? It has to be formatted this way. You have to have this description for it. And then it's like freaking 3 people show up to it. And then it's like, okay, great. I did all of this preparation. I spent all of this energy on it, and it wasn't even a big turnout. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people's expectations, I feel like, in college settings are way too high. And then that creates such I don't want to say friction per se, but it creates such a weird distracting energy where it's like, okay, this deadline is this meeting is this day, oh, what time can we do this, or what time can we have this event? And I'm like, man, I don't even know if I could do like clubs anymore. Like, I'm an officer in one club, for sure, so I'm committed to that, but I'm like, I don't think I could even have another club that I'm like that committed to. And then some clubs on campus, again, they're active sometimes, and then after the beginning of the semester, it just like stops or trails off because people are busy, or they had such high expectations of something and it didn't turn out that way, or people put so much pressure on planning things and making events, and then it's just like, okay, but I thought we were just doing this for fun, like I thought we were just here volunteering our time to meet as a club because we have shared interest. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's always my perspective, because I'm like, no one's paying me to plan this event for 30 people just because we're in the biology club. No one's paying me to coordinate, with education directors or with people from the science in Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, but the Science Museum of Oklahoma. Like, no one's paying me to do this. I'm literally, again, like, it takes time to do these things, to write emails, to, make phone calls. It's taking literal time and energy for me to do this. And then if it doesn't, like, actually go through and the plan falls through, then I'm going to be really mad. And I'm going to have wasted all of that energy, like an hour of coordination, like, throughout the days. If you stack up the time, it's like a whole hour just to plan something, and it might not even happen. So, like, that's where I've been. I know I've probably talked about a few different topics scattered around, but it's genuinely so strange to just be, like, having to keep track of so many different things. And it's like, I'm a sociology major and environmental science minor, so, like, I love the stuff that the biology club does, even though I'm not technically a biology major. They don't have the specific degree plan that I wanted, so I'm just, having to kind of do my own thing with the major and minor being what they are, But, like, I would love to join, another club on campus and be like, hey, let's be active. Let's do these events or these, volunteer things or community service, like whatever it is, or just a field trip for something that we all find fun, like the Science Museum of Oklahoma, But it's like, I would love to do that with another club, but I'm like, man, I don't know if anyone's even passionate and, like, has their expectations at a decent level. Like, I don't want to have 10 meetings, in a month because I want to have fun and make friends in clubs and be in 3 different clubs, for example. But I don't want to do all this volunteering and all this meeting others' expectations and deadlines and extra stuff. Like, I don't want to do that. Genuinely, I don't want to do that. Especially if a club's not going to be active. Like, I don't want to do that. I really don't. And I also just don't know why people don't communicate how they really feel, or when something's really important, like the gym closing, and I already explained that, but I'm like, I don't know why people don't communicate honestly, like why they would rather have tension or friction or not be on the same page as someone. I'd rather someone know I'm pissed off at them, or I'd rather have someone know that I feel uncomfortable around them, or that I'm offended, or, oh, I really liked what you had to say in the last meeting. Like, I would rather someone be able to read me and understand me than to just be like, or like, or just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why do people do that? Like, just be honest with someone. Stop doing this weird energy. Stop doing this childlike behavior. Like, it doesn't even matter how old you are, honestly. Like, if you're someone who's like, yeah, here, take my number, and then you don't communicate, you don't answer texts, you don't respond in the group chat. What was the point of you being involved, you know? Or just like, again, with like stuff for meetings or clubs or classes, like, why are you communicating and going off topic so much? Like, hey, we're here to meet for a specific purpose. Like, stop talking about your own personal life. Stop, you know, sidetracking. You know, this is like, money is one thing. You know, finances are one thing. Money comes and money goes. Money is an energy, is a frequency, and it is tied to your nervous system. The more calm, collected, centered, secure you feel, the more financially secure and abundant you will be as a person, right? If you're always in fight or flight, go, burning your energy, you're also going to burn your money. You're also going to burn your finances. So, like, I get that money is a frequency and an energetic tie to it, and how, you know, you can't be attached to things. You can't be a possessive person, right? But if you are someone who's giving your energy and your creative time, your creative ideas, like things, energy, you cannot get back. Literally, you cannot get it back. You can transmute the energy that is sent your way. You can recharge yourself to, you know, regain your energy slowly, right? But if you send out energy and it's so pure and it's creative and it's intentional and it's pure, like it's honest, it's genuine energy, and someone just takes that, or someone just like disregards that, you're gonna feel like you are not able to get your energy back for a long time. You're gonna feel like you are not going to even give out a fraction of what you just gave them if someone doesn't appreciate it. And that's literally how I feel about dating and relationships, because I'm like, not to air anyone out or my personal business, but my literal health was affected. And my body was rejecting this person, having freaking panic attacks. I'm like, man, the people you hang out with and your energy is just, it's too unstable. It's not grounded. This is not even a long-term relationship. Like, we don't have any similar goals. We're not going the same direction in life. I wish you the best. Like, you know, but like, I'm not going to see them anymore. Like, I deleted my Facebook. We never exchanged numbers. Like, I live in the same city as them, but I'm not going to see them probably ever again in life, because we just do not live the same lives. Like, I'm not someone who lives unconsciously, and they were. That's a huge deal breaker for me, just like with any type of relationship, really. Like, if someone's trying to run a business or have a partnership with me and they're doing things unconsciously, they're not keeping track of their finances, they're wasting time in meetings, they're not intentional with their communication, they're not respectful, I'm not going to do business with them. Straight up. And if they're trying to prolong something or push back a deadline or add more to something, like more responsibility or more hurdles to jump through, I'm not going to do business with you or be an employee at all. Like, I have not worked for someone in years now. Years. Just because I value what I do. I value my creative energy. I value the workshops that I put together. I value my intellect. I value my spirit. I value everything that I do. Genuinely. And there was a job that's like substitute teaching or teaching. And I'm like, man, I gotta go through orientation, 2 background checks. One of the background checks is literally to get your fingerprint taken and put into records, you know, like, I'm like, and y'all are paying how much per day? Hold on a minute. This is too much. Y'all are taking too much of my energy and my personal likeness to even go in that lane. Like, teachers don't get paid a lot in general, but like substitute teaching for a day, y'all would be shocked. Y'all would be shocked at what they told me in that virtual orientation for how much they freaking pay to substitute teach. I'm like, why am I jumping through all these hurdles and trying to, again, waste my time to become a substitute teacher, and y'all aren't even paying $100 a day? You know what I'm saying? Y'all want us to be there for the whole day, the whole school day, right? Dealing with whatever energy, whatever curriculum, whatever school district, however, whatever policies they put in place, y'all just, it's so random. It's literally random. Like, you have no idea what to expect until you get there, and you have to be there for the whole day to even make a decent amount of money just to leave the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you work half a shift, it's either half a day or a whole day to substitute teach, right? Or teach, right? And if you're only there for half a day, you're not even making $50. So why would you leave your house for less than $50? Like, no, not in this economy, right? And it's the same thing with like a whole day of teaching. Like, why am I not getting $100 a day to teach? And you want me to be there for how many hours? Isn't school 8 hours a day? Huh? I'm missing something. You want me to be there from 7:15 to 3 o'clock? Or I think it's 3 o'clock. But if not, 3:30? You want me to be there for 7 hours? And then a lunch break? Wait, not 7 hours. Hold on, let me do the math. Owie. Actually, let me look it up. Because I don't even want to just make this up. How long is the middle school day? Okay, yeah, 7 hours. So 7.5 hours, it says. Sometimes they do early dismissal, but 7.5 hours. Y'all want me to be there for 7.5 hours, and I'm not even getting paid $100 a day. Like, and you want me to get my fingerprint taken, and you want me to go through all these mandatory trainings? Like, no, like, absolutely not. I just took back my energy. I'm like, why am I even doing this? Why am I even wasting my time? Why am I going through this route of financial, I don't even know how to word it, but I'm like, why am I even going through this, Like, why am I trying to take this route in life if I know I'm already not going to be appreciated and my energy is just going to be up and down, up and down, up and down? Like, this is how I need my energy to be. Calm, centered, connected with the sun, connected with open blossoming energy, right? That open lotus flower, right? And that's how I feel about life. Like, I don't want to date. I don't want to work for. I don't want to have my time wasted on anything. If I spend an hour or more doing something, that has to reap benefits in my life. It has to reflect back well on me. Either it's relieving stress, it's helping me feel connected to others around me, building community, or it's helping me in terms of abundance of joy, abundance of resources, abundance of nourishing my body, right? Or it's helping me express myself. And that's it. That's genuinely it. I don't care who you are. Those are my things that I genuinely am sticking to. Family, colleague, teacher, roommate, person in the club that's also an officer. Like, I don't care. I will literally tell people, like, okay, thank you, bye-bye. Like, cut the conversation short. Like, don't even ramble. Don't try to dumb things down because you think I don't understand. Like, I understand a lot. I just don't speak on it a lot of times because I'm like, there's no point in creating friction right now. There's no point in wasting my energy. There's no point in making this a bigger deal than it needs to be, because if someone is trying to show you they don't care or they think you're stupid, never interrupt an enemy when they're making a mistake. That is literally a quote, and I'm going to look it up because I think it is from Lao Tzu. Let me just confirm. Yes. Sorry, that was wrong. Okay, the quote is never interrupt your opponent while he's in the middle of making a mistake, from Sun Tzu or Lao Tzu. There's a quote from Napoleon Bonaparte that says never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. So, Napoleon took that from Sun Tzu or Lao Tzu is their name, and just, I guess, reinterpreted it, but that is the exact quote. Never interrupt your opponent while he's in the middle of making a mistake. So it's saying, like, don't try to convince someone, don't try to say, hey, did you mean that? No. Someone thinks you're stupid, someone thinks you're naive, someone thinks that you are easy to control. Do not give in to that. Just don't. Genuinely don't, because that's a waste on your part and it's a waste on their part. You don't have to have anyone explain what they're doing. You sit there and watch their actions. People could talk all day. Literally talk. I've talked. It's now 51 minutes. I didn't even have a limit for how long I was going to talk. I just wanted to express myself because I'm like, why do I feel like I'm just dealing with all this weird energy and these expectations from people that are projected onto me, but they don't have the same expectations or standards that they live by. That's how I feel as a college student. And it's also weird because I'm like, I'm doing so much and people are ungrateful, or they just disconnect so quickly and move on to the next thing. Like they genuinely don't care to be on the same page as you. So I'm like, hey, if people want to show in their actions that they do not want to be a part of what you got going on, or they do not want to be on the same page as you, or again, they want to provoke you or project onto you, let their actions speak for themselves. If someone's nice to you on the phone, polite over email, and then they don't give you the time of day in person, they don't follow up with you, they don't ask how your health is, how your day is, like genuine questions about you, that person is fake 9 times out of 10. And that's also what I don't like being a part of. I don't like being in an environment where I'm having to look up the freaking, okay, it's a a partial lunar eclipse and a blood moon, because so many people are acting really off and strange, and it's bringing up their subconscious beliefs and behaviors. And I'm like, let me do some research, let me do some investigation. What's actually going on with the, with the planets and the cycles? Oh, it's gonna be a red blood moon. So full circle back to what I started off with. It is going to be a partial lunar eclipse and a blood moon because of this. So that is on the 27th at night and the 28th. So it's like a day and a half basically. But the moon will literally look dark orange and reddish, have a reddish glow to it. So if people aren't already being weird and having, their subconscious and inner worlds come out a little bit more, this is the warning. 2 days from now, it's going to be more potent. And I am so happy, so glad that I do not have class other than twice a week to physically attend. I'm very happy about that. So that's what I have going on. That's what I've been juggling. Obviously, I'm not in high spirits, not joyful, not talking, from the perspective of my inner child today. But I do feel like this is important to also express like that inner teen, that like, I don't know, that the parts of yourself that feel unsure, to not then let it snowball or let it build up or bottle up and build into anxiety and depression and mania or hyperfixation or obsession or What's that word I'm trying to think of? It's not hyperactivity. Maybe reactivity is the word, but I don't want it to be like I have all these things underneath the surface that I haven't expressed, so I'm just gonna react every time someone does something. Like, no, I don't want to be that person. I was that person before. It sucks, and it literally drains your own energy, so I have to think, to myself, and this is what Spirit has been reminding me, like, what would my higher self do? What would the most conscious and mindful part of me do in this situation? What would the most intelligent, divinely guided, pure heart part of me do? What would they do? How would they communicate? Would they speak up in that moment, or would they take a step back and reflect? You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where I'm at, I would rather be genuine. Again, I'd rather be genuine and someone know how I feel and me not have high expectations of others versus me just running around, wasting my time, having to commit so much of my energy into something and then people don't care about it, or people cancel on the plans that were made. And it's really hot outside still, so all this wasting energy and running around and all this stuff literally is costing me. It's making me uncomfortable. So that's where I'm at. I'm not gonna keep talking for a whole hour, but that's the update on me. I wore a little bit of makeup, as you can see, my lip gloss, and just a little bit of concealer under my eyes, but even I have not been able to express myself with makeup because it's so darn hot. It's so darn hot. Like, I went to class the other day, 110 degrees by the afternoon yesterday. Started off the day humid, 40% humidity, 90 degrees going to my first class. So I'm like, wow, this is great, So I haven't been too big on the makeup, haven't been too big on going live and just talking. The last live stream I did and the last few YouTube shorts I've done are about energy, and then the YouTube live before this was about the workshop that I did, that I was saying that only a few people attended, and like you could hear in the beginning, like, oh, let's find this person, where's this person, are we waiting for this person? And I should have started it literally right before, starting the slideshow to keep people's names out of it, but it's just for proof of the workshop that I did, basically. So community service logged. I have been doing a lot, communicating a lot, did a lot over the summer and like I said, the beginning of the semester, but I'm really gonna just anchor down on myself and preserving my energy and making sure I am differentiating others' energy versus my energy and not letting myself get drained. So with that being said, please go outside and ground yourself. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're drinking water, having enough electrolytes, having a balanced, nutritious diet, and taking a break from being around others. Recharge yourself, reboot yourself with some calming Hertz frequencies, solfegial frequencies. Again, what's been playing is the Relax Your Mind and Body, Stress and Tension Relief, 174 Hertz frequency in the background. And that's it. I am a holistic health practitioner, a seer, but mostly just someone who cares. So make sure that you are taking care of yourself and brace yourself for this blood moon in a few days, okay? Peace.